here we are. Good evening, everybody. Back again. I was here with you this morning and now here I am tonight. Lordy, I don't know what's going on with the colour effects tonight. Looks dreadful. Hello and good evening to you. This is Gwenda, spirit medicine woman, spiritual and holistic wellness mentor and educator. A born seer, born healer and divine channel of the divine light. Now that for me is the word God, because that's what it is for me. Nicole, good afternoon, good evening rather. Naomi, hello darling. Lovely to have you with me. Everyone else that is watching on board here, and we'll be waiting for a couple of minutes. I'm sorry, I'm actually a little bit late this evening. But I've been here, there and everywhere today. I've been on this channel and that channel, all over the place. And then, I just didn't know what to do with this mop tonight. So it's kind of up there in a nice mix. Oh, good evening, Sarah Joyce, and thank you. Back at you. Hello, my Jody darling. Lovely to have you back again this evening. Naomi, Nicole. Oh, sorry, wrong one, Nicole. Hello, Helen. Okay, that's okay. Thank you very much, though. That'll be lovely. Haley, good evening, love. Nice to have you with me tonight. Let's see what fun and games Spirit have for us this evening. Oh, Nicole, it's a good morning for you. Oh, goodness me, you only woke up now. Well, good morning, Nicole. Is hoping you have a wonderful day. And hi, gorgeous Beck. Hello, darling. And Helen, how are you? Lovely to have you join me this evening. And Liana, Rosie, hi. Cat Gray, all you beautiful girls. Oh, thank you, Erica. It's just a big mop tonight. It just did not want to behave itself, so I went, right, that's where you're going then. It made it look like I've been roaring around on my broom all day, and now I look like Bette Midler out of Hocus Pocus. It's a favourite movie of mine. Anybody else like Hocus Pocus? Ray Louise, good evening, sweetheart. Still in a school tutorial. Okay, we'll see you in 20 minutes. Michelle from New Zealand, good evening to you, or whichever part of the day it is for you, and everyone else who is joining me at this point in time. Now, I actually stood in for one of our other gorgeous presenters on the Spiritual Events Directory. I stood in for her this morning, and I opened the platform to the people who had joined me to ask questions around wellness, spirituality, health and things. Not for something that you want to know about in a reading context, but around wellness and health, while I wait for whatever it is that Spirit want to bring in. Oh, thank you, Naomi. I love red, especially this colour of red. I think it's just gorgeous. Yes, Sarah, it was a wicked movie, wasn't it? I loved it. Oops, what happened there? A Legend Fam and Practical Magic. Oh, now Practical Magic's got some really cool stuff in it, yeah. Naughty stuff too. Yep, love that movie. That's cool. And I'll just follow your Legend Fan, as in all the superheroes, Ray Louise. You're supposed to be studying, did you say? Thank you. Thank you, Haley. Hi, Naomi. How are you? Hello there. First time. Right. Well, I work a little bit differently to that, Lisa, as Ray Louise and Haley will let you know about. Angela. Hello. Yes, this morning was so cool. Hey, Angela. We had some great questions from Country South Australia. So Haley's from Country South Australia. Hello, Alicia. Nice to have you with me this evening. So some of the things that we talked about this morning was about protection of energy, protection of your vibration in food, trouble with stomach weight and emotions, and how emotions and stomach weight are interrelated. It feels to me and it looks to me like we're actually going to be doing a bit of channeling tonight, so we're going to actually be bringing in some messages for you However, the way that I work on my show is that you don't ask me for messages, right? The fact that you are here, Spirit know you're here, the Divine know that you are here. If they elect to go to you, I don't choose you. So if they elect to go to you and they elect to bring some message through to you, then that's a wonderful blessing. But it's not a case of you asking for messages, because if you ask me, you're going to disappear down an abyss. Okay. Good evening, Maria. Nice to have you here. So whatever is going to come through for you will come through. And for those of you who are new, you will know and you'll be able to tell our... for those of you who are new, the people who are not will be able to tell you how it generates through. And usually what we find comes through ends up being just what you needed at the time. I have unwavering faith in the Divine and am well aware of how the Divine works. Maria, I asked the question I missed when you talked. Need to come back to rewatch. Maria, remind me of your question, love, and maybe we can funnel down into that tonight. Yes, Lisa Rose, hello to you. Angela, hello, sweetheart. Welcome this evening. Hi, Lisa Rose, new here, welcome. Yes, Angela. Messages, hopefully, what do you say? Hopefully landing on the receiver. I think the receiver's me, yeah. So, thank you, Amy, Chan, Carol, nice to have you here too. So, if you have got some sort of question, a general question, not something about whether you need to buy a new car, whether you should move, whether your marriage is going to work out, not interested. That is really, really low vibration stuff, and it's not helpful, because the fact is you actually know the answer. You know the answer to all of those things, as indeed you do about all things going on in your life. But we get blocked. We get blocked with being able to receive the guidance and hear the guidance. And the one thing that is your greatest issue is your head, or rather what's in your head is driving the bus and getting in the way, so you can't receive the guidance. Now, emotion stuck in the gut. Thank you, Maria. Yes, I did love that question. Thank you, Angela. Okay. Emotions, when they're stuck in the gut, they stop you from losing weight. Emotions stuck in the gut create big belly rolls, belly fat. And I can hear some people already, but it's your hormones. If you're over 40 and you're a woman, it's your hormones. Well, yeah, your hormones play a part, because when you are overstressed, when you are unhappy, when life isn't going well for you, your hormones are out of whack. So when your hormones are out of whack, your liver doesn't work properly, your spleen doesn't work properly, your heart doesn't work properly, and hey presto, you put on weight. If you are harbouring old emotions from a long time ago, you are going to hold those emotions in different parts of your body. And as a result, that is then going to create either excess or not enough body fat. You can go the other way. You can go into bulimia, anorexia, and all those other nasty things. So emotions stuck in your body somewhere is because you have not been able to surrender to them. You've not been able to work in forgiveness, acceptance, letting go. You know, everyone's like, oh, ho-hum, ho-hum. We hear that all the time. You hear it all the time because it's a fact. Because that's what creates the issues with your hormones, the issues with your body weight, depression, anxiety, overwhelm. And it all comes from what you are holding on to, what you're churning over in your mind, what you refuse to let go of. I heard the medical medium recently say that it was so wrong for people to have the finger pointed at them as to look what you're creating. Well, one day I'm going to have a head-on with him because the fact is, and it for everyone that likes science, it can be scientifically proven now that when you retain emotions and you retain trauma, then it affects the body. There's no two ways about it. You know, when you will not let go of stuff, you get backed up, you get constipated, you get irritable bowel because you're fed up with life, or you're so agitated about the way life is for you, the bowel can't work. So it all gets backed up. Right, now just keep in mind, people, that when you back up your bowel too much, do you know where it goes? It comes back up. Comes back up. Isn't that a nice thought? That's the truth of it. When the bowel just gets too impacted, it goes, I've got to get out of here somewhere. And somehow, and there's only one way out, it can't go down. What's going on here? Ben Thompson's got a question. I'd like to understand how to help my second son doesn't communicate his emotions well. Ben, you make me laugh. What man do you know that communicates his emotions well? Children don't know how to express their emotions other through tantrum, other through doing things that create a tension for them. Children do not understand what it is that they're feeling. They only know that they are feeling very upset, very out of whack, very out of balance, and they do not know how to express them, how to be able to manage them. Now, in some ways, when I see parents in this time and day, who speak to their children like they are an adult and who have their children in adult conversations, and you hear the child answer and everyone goes, oh, wow, for a 4-year-old, they're so wise. Really? They may be able to answer you, but put that child in a position where they are faced with tremendous upheaval that creates a massive amount of emotion, and that child will not sound so wise after all. How can they? How can a child understand how to work this amazing turmoil of emotions that they're experiencing when they don't even know what emotions are in the first place, when they are so little? The best thing that you can do for a child who is finding it difficult to be able to communicate their emotions, which is natural, is to ask them to draw, a picture and let them express through creativity. And it works for adults too, by the way. Express through creativity. Now, you will find they'll draw all sorts of things, and it may mean nothing to you, and it doesn't have to mean anything to you. The fact is that it allows the child to be able to express something that they don't know how to put it in words. But they may put it in a picture, or they may put it into destruction. Speaking of children, I had a 7-year-old on my healing table a few weeks ago, and the mother has been in touch since to say she just cannot believe the difference in him. There has not been all the mucus and the trouble with being able to swallow his food. He hasn't had the reaction to particular foods that he was having before. He's sleeping better. He's a lot more calm. And she says he's a whole different person. So healing is for everyone. It really is. We bring a lot of junk with us from our mothers. It's a bit unfortunate, isn't it? But we really do bring in intergenerational stuff. We bring in stuff that our mother is going through while she is carrying us in the womb. Whatever her responses, her relationship and everything is going on, comes through to us before we actually arrive into this world. Fascinating stuff, isn't it? Beautiful, Naomi, that's just lovely. The soft belly. Yes, Maria, the soft, pudgy belly. That's all about emotions, very much. Cat Gray, that's a good question, thank you. Does high stress for many years heighten senses? Some senses it may heighten, but I wouldn't say that it heightens them in the best way of heightening your senses. When you heighten your senses, you should have a far greater awareness and actually be able to step into what's called a higher level of consciousness or a higher vibration. But if you've been in very high stress for a lot of years, you may find that your hearing is a lot more astute. Your hearing's a lot sharper, and that's because you're listening for any signs of danger. So you read it can rewire your brain. Stress can rewire your brain. Damn right it does. It burns it out. It short fuses it more than anything. Thanks, Naomi. Thank you, Hazel. Resonate with this. That's awesome. Lisa Huntley. Anything you don't work that way. Thank you, Hayley. Thank you very much. Spiritual path. That's a good one. I'll show them and let them see how we go through emotions and let them express themselves with it. Yes, that's right, Naomi. You encourage a child to express their feelings through creativity, as I've suggested. Yep. Yes, creative expression. So, abdominal ablation for severe menstrual bleeding. Oh, gracious me. So we've got one man with us tonight. So if you'll grin and bear it for me as I delve into the issues of periods. So, ladies, around the womb we have the second chakra. We also have it very close to the base chakra. So we are looking at things around security, sense of safety, being grounded, feeling secure, nurture. Now, most often, everyone goes outward, but it's not. It's inward. So when you are not feeling secure, safe, grounded in yourself, your base chakra is not going to be functioning very well, and you will have trouble with your anus, with your hips, with your knees, your ankles. Your sense of stability will not be good. Now, closely related to that is the second chakra, the root chakra, and here we have, for the men, the testes, the penis, the anus, the bladder, the ureters. For a woman, we have the fallopian tubes, the ovaries, the uterus, the bladder, the ureters, and the kidneys for both male, female. So, when you are not able to receive nurture and when you don't feel that you're being nurtured, you are going to have a lot of trouble in those areas. The other thing that is held by a woman in the second chakra, so all around the pelvis, when we think of where the second chakra is, don't just think of the organs, think of the location. So the location covers right through the pelvic basin, and that takes you to the top of the hip bones, into the lower back, into the coccyx, that whole area. So through all of that, you're going to have inflammation in every part of that area. Now, when I look at you, Christine Marie Clark, I can see that there is inflammation goes right through to the back of your back, meaning through the back of the pelvic region. So you would have a lot of trouble and pain in your lower back, very lower back, down into the coccyx even. Sometimes people get a very sore tailbone, and a doctor will ask, when did you have a fall? You don't have to have had a fall for that area of the body to be really disturbed through enormous amounts of issue around nurture, security, feeling safe, feeling grounded. And it is about how you feel in yourself. However, what we project outwardly is what we want in our life. So if that first and second chakra are not working properly, you're not going to feel nurtured, secure, safe with anything. And given the state of affairs that's being rammed down your throat presently, if you listen to it, this is going to create a tremendous amount of disturbance in a sense of survival, a sense of security, and feeling safe and feeling grounded. And for women, it's going to go right to your centre of being able to nurture and feeling nurtured. So, Christine Marie, I also see that there is remnants of a soul who did not make it through to this life for you. So there needs to be some release around loss of a baby, loss of what it was that you always dreamed about in regards to being pregnant and being a mother. And this also goes for Jess Tonkin. So with Jess Tonkin, there are issues around sense of being a mother, being able to be enough as a mother, and being able to relate to being a mother. And this is where you get a lot of disturbance and a lot of pain when you've got heavy periods. And heavy periods are all due to those things that I've just been talking about. Let's move on from there. We must by head office. So when you feel like you've been left out in the wilderness, you need to stand on your own 2 feet and be able to sort yourself out. Oh, thank you, Amy. You're very welcome. Christine, thank you very much for replying to Ashley. It's not so much I don't do readings, it's that I am a mentor and educator. I am quite capable, as you would have just seen, of readings. I am a seer. However, in this show, there's no point you coming to me for readings, because what I've found is people don't actually take the wonderful guidance that is offered to them, and they pop up on another show and want the same reading on the same issue. So to me, that is a lack of respect. It also shows me that you're not really interested in helping yourself. So I am here to share things that people want to know about, that they can put into their life and make their health and well-being a whole lot better. Yes, Jodie Marie, it's not a silly question at all. Jodie Marie is asking, does contraception alter the chakra's ability to do the work properly? Absolutely, because contraception, whilst it is important, whilst it has its place, is obviously going to mess with our natural biorhythms, our natural course of our cycle, and of course that then disturbs the chakra. So yes, most definitely. But you know, there's so many things that you can do to help your chakras, and that is to be aligned to your heart. It is to make sure that your head, your brain, is not driving the bus all the time, because what it will predominantly do is throw you under the bus and run over you. So it is much better that you go and make sure that you are actually living a soul-led life. Now, for those of you who are on my page, the Heal with Gwenda page, or the Gwenda Smith page, which is the spiritual page, you will see that I have a post up there at the moment that I am going to be running some lovely little lives in post. So it'll be a little video with simple practical things that you can do to be able to live a soul-led life. Now, when you live a soul-led life, life is so much more glorious, and it's so much happier, and you heal very quickly. You heal from things quickly. So, Jodie Marie, never a silly question, love, never at all. Thank you very much for that. It was excellent. Joint pain. Hi, Jackie. And Christine Marie says, thank you, Gwenda, spot on. So it's not that I don't do readings. I can see straight into you and see what's going on, and that's how I work. It's how I roll. You're welcome, Jodie. Sink into your heart, otherwise get run over. Yes, that's right. We should make a meme out of that, Beck. Sink into your heart, otherwise get run over by the head bus. That's so true. And Hayley will certainly let you know about that as well. So Let's have a look at pain in the right hip joint. And thanks, Jackie. Pain in the right hip joint, okay? Any pain in your hip joint, once again, we are in that pelvic basin area. So you want to be having a look at where you sit when it comes to your sense of security, safety, nurture. What is it that you haven't let go of? Stiff hips is your refusal to step forward in your life, and there can also be fear in hip joints. Now, on the right side of the body is the male side of the body. So you have got an imbalance between your masculine and feminine side of yourself. So there needs to be more unity, more acceptance of the masculine as much as acceptance of the feminine, and be able to bring the whole of you together as one. So we have all got those polarities, okay? So even for our gorgeous man that's here tonight, if he's still there, Ben, yes you are, thank you. Lovely to have you here, Ben. So even for Ben, he has the female side, and it's the same for male. You've got to be able to have both those sides beautifully balanced. You know, the yin and yang symbol is perfect. It shows the balance between the both sides. I'm listening to spirit while I'm trying to speak, and it's a million miles an hour. So sorry if I'm stammering a little bit tonight. And so when it comes to joint pain, now the other thing, who asked me that? Jackie. The other thing for you, Jackie, is that you're actually quite low in manganese and magnesium in your body, but you're also low in good quality oil. There isn't enough lubrication in your joints, and the hip pain that you're getting, it's actually coming from the area in the lower back where the hip connects on. So the beautiful pelvis hooks on to the back around the ischium, and that is where your pain is coming from. What you are feeling is a referred pain. So now that we are in that part of the back, there is actually inflammation in the facet joint. And if you were to put your thumb on the very top of that beautiful hip crest, and then follow it across to the spine, go right in there and stick your thumb in it, you will go through the roof. That's where the facet is all inflamed. So you really need to get something, let me see, what's a good... You want a really nice oil that is a beautiful blend of lavender, rosemary, ylang-ylang, and even a bit of bergamot. So a really nice herbal oil, and massage that gently into that facet joint, and it will settle down. The question to ask yourself is, what is it that you are stuck on? And for you, Jackie, this is all very much around your sense of feeling safe, secure. So do some work on that. Ben, I think I'm seeing the difference now about what is my head and what is my soul, racking my brain. Perfect, Ben. Racking your brain ain't going to get you anywhere. Your brain is very, very good for listening in, for being able to learn things, for being able to drive the car, for being able to know when you've got to turn the kettle off, or the toaster's burning, go and learn algebra, trigonometry, and all those good things that I failed miserably at school. That's what your brain is good for, nothing else. So when you're trying to sort things out, go inward, go into your heart, go into your soul, and the only way you can do that is by being present in everything you do, giving yourself time to sit in quiet stillness. That's the only way that you can go inward and get the answers that you want, and stop that brain from attracting all the stuff you don't want. Thanks, Hayley. Move forward when you're stuck. Well, you've got to sort out why you're stuck and why you're choosing to be stuck. We're never stuck because we have to be. We're only ever stuck because we choose to be. And when you want to find a solution, there is always a solution. Always. There is nothing in this life that does not have a solution. Nothing. It is, we'll go back to Ben's comment here, it is what's rattling around in here and what you're allowing to churn around in here. That's what the issue is. Cannot be stuck once this is not holding the steering wheel in the bus and trying to throw you underneath it. It's a high stress. When I was high stress for many years, my brain and body switched to somewhere. Yep, that's right, Kat. When you are so stressed and so overwhelmed with things, or you get really anxious about things, you short circuit yourself. You know, that's the only way to explain it. You short circuit in your joints, in your skeleton, you short circuit in your central nervous system. It just becomes an absolute disaster zone. What did someone used to say when I worked in the gym? That's just a train wreck. Her life's an absolute train wreck. And that's what it's like for your body when you are carrying and consistently staying in a place of stress. And I'm going to say it, and everybody can jump and scream and run away. It's a choice. It is a choice. You either stay in the train wreck and you keep talking yourself through everything that's not right and what someone did or didn't do and what you're hating. You're in that carriage on the train wreck and you're just continually replaying it. When you decide to pull on that emergency stop lever and you go, shut up, and you decide to take a different perspective and you take the actions to breathe, to quieten, to go out in nature, to eat well. No, eating well isn't going to the buffet and getting your $60 worth. That's not eating well. Drinking water properly, drinking filtered water, having beautiful fresh juices, then you're going to find that you will change in the way that you're managing things. Yep, loads of clearing. Clearing's wonderful. My phone died. Oh, youch. Yep, so Jackie is letting me know. Thank you, Gwenda. Typical phone died. Rewatch. But very true. Suffered with bad sciatica and have steel rods down my spine, so I feel it pulling at my lower sacrum. Now, when we look at steel rods, everybody in the audience here, I want you to think about a steel rod. What does it look like and what can't it do? What can't a steel rod do? Yes, Naomi, we absolutely do, and it's nobody else's. No one else can change it, only you. Now, I have Sarah Joyce asking, would love to know how to completely forget and let people go and out of your mind that have been in your life. Well, this is a tricky one, Sarah, because if those people are meant to be in your life and they're there because they have something to bring to you by way of a lesson, or they're there because they are part of what might be called a soul family, or there's some kind of connection through karmic debt, then you're not going to be able to be free of them until all of that is served. And until you actually learn the lesson that they are there for. So for everyone, if you are going through a repeated cycle of the same issue, it's time to pull on that emergency brake and go, what the is going on here, and check in with yourself. Now, the error that we all make until we learn it is wanting to point fingers at the other person. Forget the emergency brake if you're pointing fingers at the other person, because when you point fingers at them, you've got 9 others pointing back at you, and they're the fingers you should be looking at. Right? Simple. That's what you need to be looking at. That's right, Beck. A steel rod cannot bend. And yes, Sarah, a steel rod cannot move. So if you have got a steel rod in your back where the spine needs to be able to move, that is an indicator to you that there was something in your life that you were refusing to bend on. Something that you were refusing to allow to flow out of your life. you know, yes, you'll be able to rewatch, everyone. Hayley's saying she hopes she can rewatch this. Yes, these videos stay up on the page all the time, and if some of you have come in from my other pages, they will be up there all the time. So you can always come back and rewatch. And on the spiritual events directory, there is actually a list of us. So you can actually go to the Heal show, and there will be all of the videos that I've done since I've been with the group, with the channel. So you can watch anything, anytime, really. Better than the TV. So yes, when we have got things like a steel rod and plates and stuff. Now, having been a senior scrub nurse in the theatres, I know that there are times that there's no option. A surgeon has got to put in a steel plate or a steel rod. So for you to be able to heal yourself and allow that freedom of movement to continue through the body, it's really important that you go and revisit things that you have got stuck in your, is that Bette Midler hair? That you've got stuck in you that you're not letting go of, okay? Just doing that, it was so true after an accident I had. Yeah, that's right, Sonny, absolutely. Now, when you do, when you do become aware and things get clear, like Sonny's saying here, don't sit on it, don't question it, and don't get the miseries about it and still hang on. If you've been put in a position where you've had a really bad accident and then you find that you can't relate to people that you thought were friends, or friends walk away from you, let them go and don't sit with it. Don't sit with it and question yourself and question what they were doing or what they did. Just let it go and move on. Brighter days, better things ahead. What would you want to be hanging on to that for that caused pain? Yeah, I can see that, Jackie. And yes, unfortunately, as a child too, decisions get made on your behalf, and of course they're made with the best intention. They're made through advice, and you know, parents aren't doctors, they're not specialists, they don't know. So when a specialist or a doctor says this is what we have to do with your child, a parent will say okay. I want to talk about something to do with that though. Yes, Alicia, sometimes it seems like, am I done yet? Am I done yet? I just seem to have more and more, and we do. So a couple of things around that I want to talk to you about regarding being a parent of a child and they need some kind of surgery or they need some kind of treatment, and you trust in the doctors and the specialists. A young boy, 13-year-old, was hit by a car because the boys were being boys and thought they could beat the cars across the road. He was very lucky to have survived, but he sustained brain injury, cracked skull, broken ribs, and crack in his vertebrae. Now, he had all of that, and a week later, the doctor said he was free to go back to school. Now, this kid plays football. And I'm going to ask you, those of you who are parents or even those who are not, surely to goodness, you would have to be going, you can't be serious. He's ready to go back to school and play football. Now, any credible doctor knows that a bone takes, and the physical body takes a minimum of 6 weeks to repair itself. And here is this doctor saying a week later that this kid can go back to school and he can go and play football. I was horrified. But I'm often horrified with what goes on in the medical system, in hospitals and nursing care and so forth these days. So what I'm saying to you here is, for those of you who are parents and you do take your child to a doctor or a naturopath or anything, and if your child has had an accident, please think outside of what you are being told. Just even let yourself get the guidance and trust it. So You know, if a doctor's saying, yeah, your child is fine to go to school, fine to do gymnastics, and you know that they've broken their wrist only a couple of weeks ago, listen to your own intuition. Do not send the child back to gymnastics or back to school or whatever it is, right? You look after your child the best you can and do not be so reliant on what a medical professional is telling you, especially when something in you goes, oh, I'm not sure about that. So when you have that little alert, oh, I'm not sure about that, or gee, something about that doesn't sit, listen to it. That is coming from your guides. It will come from your higher self. It will come from your child's guides. Listen to that before you would listen to someone who's saying, yeah, no problem, child go back to school and play football. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you. Yes, Liana, listen to your gut feeling. It's far higher than anything else. It really is. And that's what it's there for. That's what you have intuition for. You know, thank you, Donna, your soul in the wisdom classroom where I'm working with some beautiful ladies at the moment, and they're on a journey to learn how to connect with their guide, how to hear their guide, how does their guide communicate with them, and then onto their higher self. There's been some fabulous questions in there around really being able to know that difference between your soul and why do we have a guide if, you know, what's in our soul. So what is in our soul is wisdom. Our soul is incredible and it has a mountain of wisdom. That's why you have got answers for everything. You've got the most amazing resource within yourself, and all you need to do is connect with it. That's all. But if you're watching the TV, if you're forever on screens, hello, you're on a screen right now, but if you're forever on screens, you watch the TV, you take in the news, the ads, are you aware of what plays behind what you can see on the screen of a TV? There's so much subliminal stuff goes on, you would be horrified. Now, I have a young lady. Oh, yes, Naomi, thank you. I have a young lady who has got a Down syndrome child. And she was saying that she'd been having a terrible amount of tantrums from him and could not settle him down. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, and I'm glad to see you're an awake nurse. Good to see. So she was saying how many of these dreadful tantrums that she was having and such a change in his behaviour. And I said to her, do you happen to give him an iPad or a phone, or is he on, watching the TV? And she said that's the only thing that keeps him quiet. And I said, yes, until you want to turn it off or take it off him. And she goes, that's actually when his tantrums are the worst. And I said, that's because the impact that the screen has, it actually triggers the addiction area of the brain. Did you all know that? The screens, the iPads, the TV, more so the iPads and the phones, they trigger the addiction part of your brain, and they are designed to do that. So that's why when you give a child, a baby, I've seen babies as small as 8 months old be given phones and iPads, and I've got to say it, I'm disgusted, absolutely disgusted. The trouble, the health issues that that's bringing in is horrendous, but the mental issues is worse. So, yes, Naomi, all answers are within us. Carla, replying to Carla. Sarah, it's not one of those live shows. What's that? Naomi, addicted to Facebook. It's designed to do that. Absolutely. So if you find yourself scrolling, you're addicted. You need to get off. Give yourself a break. That's the big sign of being addicted to it, is the scrolling. Now then, I'm going to take a little sneak peek into a young man. Yeah, yeah. It's not. It's another one of those things that it's not known, Hayley. A lot of people don't realise that there is so much that is played behind the screen of a TV, and what you can't see, there is actually coding and words and things that go to you on a subconscious level and even an unconscious level and affect you dramatically. You don't even have to be watching it, because if you think you're reading something, or you are texting somebody and you're looking at your phone, but the TV and the noise is still on, or even the colours, the flashes and everything, they still reach you on that level. This is the thing, people. You see, your physical eyes, your physical ears, they're not the greatest part of you when it comes to your senses. You go far beyond that. And the people that have designed TVs and screens, they know that, and they know how to work with it. So, thank you, Sarah. Everyone was on a device. Yeah, Jackie, yeah, they are. And the other thing is, where's their head when they're on a device? So now we've got overextension through the vertebrae in the neck, overextension of the long muscles down the neck, the sternomastoid, cleidomastoid muscle, which is an absolute ripper that comes right up and around the head, all overextended, overlonged, and then other muscles are shortened. So we get this kind of effect going on. It's dreadful. Now, for Naomi, Tracy, I'm sorry I don't work like that, love. For Naomi Mayer, I want to just go in here, and also for everyone else. When we have skin eruptions and we pick up fungal infections, now you get fungal infections in your ears, toe jam, under your toes. You get fungal infections between your toes. You can get fungal infections in your gut. You can get fungal infections in your brain, which is really, really not nice at all. But when we get fungal infections, think about a fungus. Where is it in the food chain, and what does it represent? What does it make you do when you think of the word fungus, and when you think of it being in your body? What is your reaction? What are you all doing now when you picture a fungus being in your body? So what is the emotion that you would put with that? Because you see, when you've got a lot of fungus going on in your body, there's a lot of self-hate. There's a lot of inferno. You've been so angry about things, you've turned on yourself. It's a little bit like an autoimmune disease. This might be too much for some of you to take on, but I've done this work for a long time, and every single thing that we create in the physical has got an emotional basis. And it can be something so... Sorry, Maria. I'll try and slow down, but it's not me. Spirits speak really fast. You poor girl. You need to learn to do shorthand, Maria. So what are you all feeling when you think, and what's your reaction when you think about fungus, what it looks like, what it is, and you think about it growing in your body? What does that bring up for you? So when someone has got an overload of fungus in their body, it's very clear that they are in very murky territory in themselves. They've gone to the depths of despair, and they really are having a difficult time being loving, being kind to themselves, or feeling that they are worth loving. Yes, yuck. Thank you, Maria. Anyone else? Anyone else want to say what you feel about a fungus, or what it makes you do? Even black spewy emoji faces. So when you're looking at someone with a lot of fungus and they've got fungal infections, having a look at what emotional turmoil they've been going through and how it is they feel about themselves is what the answer is to that. Now, there are different strains of fungus, all different types, just as, mushrooms are a fungi, right? And they're amazing. You get the most beautiful mushrooms, and not the magic mushrooms, but the other ones. They are packed with nutrients and goodness. Now, that's not the kind of fungus that grows in. That's a perfect one, Christine. That's not the kind of fungus that grows in the human body. So the other thing about a fungus is that when it starts to be really active in the body, or it stays, is because we're back to holding on to a situation, a circumstance. The only thing that can override anything like that is love. Making peace with yourself, making peace with circumstances, and pouring love into it. And this is no fairy tale. This is no woo-woo stuff. I don't do woo-woo stuff. This is fair dinkum truth. So when you pour love into any part of you, it repairs, and the body will easily get past any kind of infection, inflammation, fungus, and kick it to the curb. So what I want to say to, where's she gone? Naomi, and for everyone else, the other thing about fungus is resentment. Now, are you holding on to resentment towards someone else, or are you holding on to resentment towards yourself? You can actually be quite resentful towards yourself because you can be really disappointed in yourself. So you build a resentment because you feel like you didn't do enough in a circumstance, or you didn't see to it quick enough, you didn't make change. So resentment is a really powerful and a really damaging emotion. Everyone, the only way that you can really clear your energy fields, really restore yourself and live a glorious life, which is my tagline, I believe everyone deserves to live a glorious life, is to be able to learn to let go, forgiveness, release, forgiveness, love, repeat. So thank you all very much for being here, and to the new people that have come on this evening. Thank you for your questions, your engagement. It's always so much fun, and it's always a thrill to be here with you. And to those of you who came back tonight after being with me today, that I really appreciate that. And I know in the East it's a tad late, so I also am very grateful to you being up and sitting with me at this time. It's wonderful. I ask that you all be blessed and you be kept safe this evening, and my prayers go out to you, and that you also have love. Have love come to you and fill your heart and keep you well and happy as these days go by. Yeah, Ray Louise, you do. You need to love your fungus. Make it part of you, but filled with love. Oh, thank you, Sonny. Thank you very much. That's lovely. So full of it. There you go. There you go, Naomi. So it's answered you, hey? Got more clarity there. Amen, Hayley. Yes, you're welcome, Erica. Beautiful. Now, for those of you who are really interested in being able to go forward in your life and in healing, yeah, I reckon, Jackie, I say thank you very much. And blessings to you all. It really is so very special to sit with you. Hello, Kay. Well, I'm just signing off, darling. You're welcome, Maria. And Maria, you'll need to do some nice hand exercises now to get those cramps out of your hands. So for anyone that would like to come over and join the Heal with Gwenda community, I would love to see you over there, and come on over to the page, connect with me on either or both pages. I also do wellness talks on the Holistic Wellness page with the Global Healing Exchange. I thank you, Helen. You're still there. That's beautiful. Thank you. Um, so you're very welcome to come over to my page. You can also, I would love you to take a tour around my website and perhaps interact with the blog posts that are there. That would be great, to have your feedback on the blog posts, your thoughts, create, a conversation around those blog posts. And also see how they may be able to help you. You never know. They're very likely to be messages in those that will answer things for you. So it is Heal with Gwenda. And as I said, it's healwithgwenda.com. As I said before, these shows are on the Spiritual Events Directory, and it's just called the Heal Show with Gwenda, or Heal with Gwenda Show, I think. So you can always go back and watch the various shows. And those of you who have come in from my two other pages, I will come across and see to you and respond to you. And I thank you for being there also. If you're ready to step up into your divine self and really find out more about yourself, you can always look into the School of Wisdom. There's a few of the girls from there on here tonight. So I've got many things available for you. And also, if you do happen to go to my website and you download the free gift for you, which is a lovely ebook, please do expect that I will contact you, because I would like to know how you went with the ebook, how you went with the practices that are in there. And I would love to hear back from you. I'm amazed at the number of people that have gone and downloaded it, and then they don't even say hi, thanks afterwards when I email them to say, how did you go? So I'm just letting you know you will hear from me when you download that gift that is there for you. Thinking about might take it down, put something else up, maybe a picture of Mr. Squiggle or something. Anyway, people, it's that time of the night. So thank you all for your beautiful messages. Kay, thanks for dropping in. Thank you for the love, and may it all be returned to you. God bless everyone. Have a lovely evening. Stay safe. Stay well.